Good day to all our viewers out there. My name is Heinrich Neetling and welcome to Mathematical Literacy. In today's lesson, we'll focus on the topic of volume, okay, and that forms part of measurement. Now let me share something quite interesting with you. Did you know that the difference between two-dimensional and 3D geometric shapes is that 3D shapes always occupy space, as opposed to 2D shapes which only have length and width. 3D shapes are solids that have length, width and height. Then important, 3D shapes have depth, which means they also have volume. Okay, so that's the important things I wanted to share with you that I found quite interesting. So what are our lesson objectives? So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to define volume. You must be able to calculate volume and or other dimensions of the given shape. You must be able to distinguish between diameter and radius. Also be able to distinguish between length, breadth or width and height. And then also be able to use appropriate formulae successfully. And then lastly, identify and work with the correct units. Now let us quickly look at important information, terminology, definitions, right? But before we do that, this is the concept map. So as I've indicated, our focus is volume, right? That's the focus of our lesson today. And we will focus firstly on some explanation and thereafter we'll do some examples. And the aim is for you to work with me. Now moving on to the appropriate language. So here I said breadth or width is basically defining how wide something is, right? Then when we talk about length, we say it's the measurement between 2 points in a straight line. For example, the length of your bedroom. Then when we refer to height, we said that height, remember this is now the third dimension, right? That we add, making it a three-dimensional object. The height is the measurement of someone or something from head to foot or from the base to the top. Okay? We also know that diameter, it's a straight line passing through the center of a circle and touching the circle at both the ends, thus dividing the circle into two equal parts. Together with this is what we call the radius. So what is our radius? It's the distance from the center of the circle to any point on the circumference of the circle. We also know that radius is half of our diameter. Then we refer to pi, where we say pi equals 3,141592,645 and few other numbers they continue, right? But we will use the approximate value of pi of 3,142. Guys, are we clear? Okay, let us quickly do a quick practice, okay? And again, please work with me. Now, before we get to that part, let's look at more knowledge that you should know. I decided it's good to just summarize the formula that we'll need to calculate volume. So first up, I indicated here rectangular prism. To calculate the volume of a rectangular prism, we say its length multiplied by width multiplied by height. Then when we work with the cube, we say it's length times length times length, or we can say it's length cubed, right? The three dimension, because it's all the same. Then a triangular prism, we use the area of the base, right, multiplied by our height. And then lastly, I included here to calculate the volume of a cylinder. We say it's pi multiplied by our radius squared multiplied by height. Okay, and guys, I hope you note here, right? Can we see each time the third dimension here will be height? Okay, so let us now do the quick practice together. Question number 1. Define the term volume. So what is volume? So volume is basically the three-dimensional space occupied, right, by either can be gas, okay, it can be liquid, okay, but it can also, all right, be a solid substance. So any of that, right? It's the three-dimensional space occupied by either a gas, liquid, or a solid substance. That's the answer to our first question. Looking now at question number 2, choose the correct answer. So the formula for calculate volume of a cylinder, is it A, where we say volume equals pi times radius square times height, or is it B, where we say it's 2 times pi times radius times height? Right? We agree now that the correct answer here is A, where we say it's pi times radius squared multiplied by our height. Okay? Okay guys, let us now look at question number 3. So here we'd like to know whether the following statement is true or false. So the statement reads as follows. Units of solid volume is millimeters cubed, cubed centimeters, meters cubed, etc. Guys, I'm sure you'll agree that is indeed true. Remember, we have what we call solid volume as well as liquid volume. We'll look at that later on in our lesson. Okay, question number 4. It says calculate the volume of a rectangular prism with a length of 6 centimeters, width of 4 centimeters, and then the height of 5 centimeters. Then I've indicated here, you may use the following formula, length multiplied by width multiplied by your height. So it's just a matter of substituting, simplifying, and then writing our answer. So here, the length, 6 centimeters, multiplied by a width of 4 centimeters, multiplied by the height of 5 centimeters. Okay, so therefore 4 times 5 is 20, 20 times 6 is 120. So let's double check, 6 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5. That indeed will give us an answer of 120. And please note, we are working with volume, so therefore it is cubic centimeters. The 3 dimensions that we refer to here is your length, your width, as well as your height. Okay, guys, let's now look at some other important language terminology that is applicable to our topic of today's lesson. So here I've indicated that volume is the 3-dimensional space occupied by a gas, a liquid, or a solid substance. Okay, we also indicated here that the word capacity also refers to volume. Okay, then units of solid volume, that is cubic millimeters, squared, cubic centimeters, cubic meters, cubic kilometers, etc. Then in terms of liquid volume, we refer to it as milliliters, liters, or kiloliters. Okay, guys, let us take a quick break. After the advert break, we'll put all of this into context. See you after the break.